Driving by the North Andover Common, you might get a glimpse of a small white building. It might seem modest and insignificant, but the Hay Scales building on the corner of Osgood and Andover Street holds great stories of our town and the people who lived here. Such a person was William Stewart Roundy. His life reached back to time and service in the Civil War, and during his time in North Andover, at his home at 38 Osgood Street, he lived with his ailing wife, operated a cobbler's shop in the Hay Scales building, and pumped the organ at the North Parish Unitarian Church. A plaque on the side of the Hay Scales building commemorates its origin. It was built in 1833 when the Greater Salem area was largely an agricultural region. Created as a joint venture by its proprietors, farmers could bring their loose hay to the scales to be weighed before it was sold. The sealer of weights kept a log of the weights and the receipts of each farmer. As farming in the area declined, the weighing was combined with other businesses. During the early decades of the 1900s, William Stewart Roundy operated a cobbler's shop there. Mr. Roundy heated his shop with a pot-bellied stove, and the walls were lined with shelves that held the forms and all the paraphernalia of the cobbler's trade. From time to time, he was called to step outside and weigh a farmer's hay. In later years, Mr. Roundy grew a snow-white beard and mustache. His shop lay diagonally across the street from his house, and when his sick wife needed him, she placed a newspaper in the downstairs window. Mr. Roundy would see the signal, close his shop, and hurry home to assist her. After his wife died, Mr. Roundy retired and eventually returned to Marblehead, where he grew up. Kate Stevens Hastings took the building for a little shop in 1924. There she sold home-baked goods and antiques and managed a lending library. She moved her shop to 2 Johnson Street in 1929, where the Hay Scales Exchange stands today. The Hay Scales building lay empty for many years until those who held stock in the corporation turned their holdings over to the Historical Society in the 1950s. The old building still stands today as a reminder of our town's agricultural past and the dynamic nature of the people who live here.